Jessica.
I'm Jenna.
And I'm Stephanie.
And you are listening to Pastors' Wives Tell All,
a podcast by pastors' wives for church leaders and anyone desiring to take a peek inside our glass house.
We are breaking down walls and crushing pastors' wives stereotypes within the church.
We want pastors' wives and other ministry leaders to know that they are not alone in this. Plus, this is basically therapy for the three of us with a whole lot of dance parties. Woo,
Hello, friends, and welcome back to Pastors' Wives Tell All.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hola. Guys, if you are watching us on YouTube, you have now for a couple of weeks have seen our new sign. But every time I look at it, it's so pretty. Our PWTA, we have a glowing sign.
It's a neon sign.
And it's pink. And it's cute.
It is.
It's so cute. We feel like real podcasters
We do.
as we sit at Jenna's kitchen table.
Yes.
I'm excited about this podcast because I think that before we kind of share what we're facing and talk about, like we have so many of you and so many of our friends and the three of us have dealt with, just community within staff and friendships and what's okay and what's not. And how do we get a staff to, come together? And should they come together? Or should it
together
right now
Oh.
over me?
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. I just kind of, that didn't go with it, but
Sorry,
it's fine.
I hear words and it just triggers songs.
Me too, so I get you.
Anyway.
So anyways, and is it okay to be friends with staff outside? And when you do that, like, how do you get people together? Especially when you have maybe an older generation and you're a younger, younger whippersnappers. And you're just like, how? Like, I don't have anyone to hang out with. Like
Or
all the things.
maybe you're the pastor's wife. A lot of you are. And so you're like, well, I'm technically not on staff, but I really would like community with the other pastor's wives. And so we're going to talk about that.
How do you make it happen?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
First of all, let's talk about, have we had that we've all been at different churches.
Yeah.
We're at good churches right now, and we love, and we're at healthy churches. Not perfect, but healthy. But have we had that? Have you had community with your staff before this church that you're at?
Before the church I'm at? We did occasionally get together as a staff at our last church, for Christmas parties, things like that. And we had done a few things. I don't know if everyone was as open with each other as we could have been. I think we could have had much better community had we let loose a little bit and let go of, I don't know. I felt like there was always walls up, if that makes sense. So I don't know, but this place has been a little different. I feel very much like I can be myself with the other pastors' wives on staff. And we do try to be intentional. When we came to be a part of the church that we're at now, we got to participate in a staff outing. First night, okay? We don't really even know these people yet. I mean, we've met them, like the pastors and stuff, but we get to go to an escape room.
So cool.
And this has been a thing that we love to do. And so we just laughed and cut up and bonded. Because there's something about an escape room, right? Like you got to work together as a team,
bond you quick.
and it will bond you real quick,
Or it'll make you real mad at each other.
Or go, do we want to continue to be on staff with them?
Yes, but it was just something where we could let down the walls and just laugh and have fun. And so we do occasionally get together like that and make it a priority. I think it's actually in our church's budget to allow us to do that. Yeah. So Jenna, what about you?
Well, the previous churches that we've been a part of, I honestly, this is going to be no surprise to the two of you, don't remember. I mean, like I can remember being there, but I don't remember a whole lot of, like we were, friendly with and had community with the church staff, but it wasn't like we did a whole lot outside of church.
So y'all never did like even Christmas parties or anything?
Yeah, there was always a Christmas party. Always a
that's like
Christmas
a
party.
normal-ish
Yeah, that's like a
thing.
normal thing. I would say that at the past couple churches we've been at, that's always been a thing. Maybe the first church that we were a part of, where we technically weren't staff. He was a youth pastor, unpaid youth pastor. That's when he was still teaching full time. That was an interesting season of life. But I don't like. I remember that we were like really, really, really good friends with a couple of people that were on staff, but it wasn't like the high level leadership. Like it wasn't. I don't know. Like it wasn't the pastor and his wife. Like we did things as a staff, but it wasn't. There wasn't a whole lot of intimacy as far as conversations go.
Yeah.
From what I can remember.
Yeah, I was trying to think back too. I think like our first 2 churches, yeah, there was like nothing. I remember one time like we went out to eat, like as a staff. And that was about it. That's the only memory I have. I don't even think we had a Christmas party. But then I remember one church, I don't even think we had a Christmas party because there was hardly anyone on staff to have a Christmas party with. And then one of our last churches, yeah, the Christmas party, like you said, but then I think like a couple of times over, 9 years. But in the 9 years, they did not get together very often. But I do remember the staff, not the spouses, but the staff, they went and did some things. I would think they're really goofy things. And I would hear a lot of the guys on staff whine about it because it was like things that like a woman picked out. And, you can just imagine like, let's go have a tea party, like kind of like that, but they didn't have a tea party. But, it was kind of close to that. So I think like,
Interesting.
yeah, but I was trying to think back like staff, like and how they were unified. I think first of all, it matters on if the church is full-time or if the church is small and like the staff is having to work full-time like Ian was and like a lot of our staff is. They're working full-time and then this is like part-time. I think you have to really be intentional either way because if you're working full-time with all of the staff, sometimes it becomes business all the time in the office. And so there's not much room for, I've been with them all day, so do I really want to go hang out with them afterwards?
Yeah.
But then on the opposite side, like you have to be very intentional with the people if it's part-time of like making sure to get together outside of church days and then make something happen.
Yeah.
But you know what that makes me think of is like even in marriage. Okay, so let's say we're constantly together. You're together a lot with your spouse because you live together. Yeah. But does that mean you're getting any kind of quality time? Are you talking about things like really getting personal? Or are you just talking about, oh, here's how my day went at work. Here's the kids, blah, blah, blah. And it could be the same way with your staff. Yes. They may be working all day together, but are they actually bonding?
Yeah.
I think that's the good word, Steph, like bonding.
Bonding.
Yeah. Because I
Quality
do like
over quantity.
Yeah. And I think also, I can think of the last church. Jonathan was really close with a couple of them because they were always going in and out of each other's offices. There was laughter, but then like the lead pastor and some of the other staff, they didn't come in as much. They closed the door. There was nothing like communication and fun happening, even like in the midst of their job, in their ministry. So, but I think like the biggest thing is like questions we've had is like, how do we make this happen? Especially pastors' wives going like, I do want to hang out with other pastors' wives and the husbands. Like, how do we make this happen in a busy schedule? So what are some things that y'all have seen happen?
I'll start. So we have in the budget, apparently, money allotted to the staff getting together and going out. The first night we came to our church, the first night we moved here, somebody was already volunteered to babysit our kids. We went out with the staff and we did an escape room.
So cool.
And then we got ice cream afterwards. It was super fun. But I remember thinking, wow, you want to bond in a hurry? Go to an escape room because you got to work together. And it's a whole thing. And it was fun to see the different personalities. So, some are a little more like back office or I don't know what I'm doing, but here, you do it. And then you've got like the take charge types that are in there. Like
I'm the first type.
Oh,
I just go sit in the corner and watch everybody.
You just go suck your thumb and sit in a corner, basically.
Oh gosh. And you got your analytical or your whatever. Like it was just funny to see the mix. But then that first night, it was just so nice to like kind of let down your guard right off the bat
Yeah.
with these people and laugh and cut up. And so I encourage people to do something like that where you have to work together and you have to be kind of silly because then just the walls come down a lot. So we occasionally do that. We do go out to eat occasionally. Last year, our church sent us on a cruise for Pastors Appreciation, which was amazing. And we had so much fun. And we did bond and get to talk. And so I think it's key that whatever you're doing, it's something where you're laughing, something where you're having fun. And I think we've done a pretty good job with that.
So cool.
So yeah. What about y'all?
I love the part, Steph, where you just said laughter, because I think that's what the three of us, really feel called to do. And we found that with each other in our friendship of not taking each other seriously, because I do believe that we have this, as the American church, we feel that, these pastors have to be like this, and staff is like this. I know you look, if you're watching, I'm a bobblehead right now, but it's really true. You've become robots and you have to look spiritual all the time. But oh my goodness, like we've talked about this before. I believe that Jesus had some really funny, sarcastic jokes and had fun with his disciples.
Yeah.
They did life together. They laughed around the fire. Yeah. Was it a lot of amazing relational talking and spiritual talk? Yes. But also there was laughter.
Yeah.
Because he created it.
Right.
So why would he not do it? So why do we feel like we have to be like this all the time? And I think that like what you said, that laughter, it tears down walls. And like, can we just imagine like our retreats? Like women come in so like, don't know what to expect. They're
So
a
many
little
burdens.
nervous, so many burdens, sadness, like just anxiety of I'm around a bunch of people I don't know. But what happens by the end of the trip? Because of laughter, because of just not taking ourselves seriously. And then the serious.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to leave.
Yeah.
They've had fun. It's like they've been a shell of themselves and now they're coming alive again. And so like, man, if staff people would start to get together and start doing that more often.
Yeah.
I wonder how the unity would be, with the church, with the staff.
For sure.
It would trickle down.
Yeah.
You know?
That's one thing that I appreciate about our pastor so much is he's hilarious, first of all. Like if you ever get into a conversation with him, he cuts up all the time. And it shows his humanity that he can still cut up and have fun, but then also, get the job done. But I've seen our staff like that cut up and have so much fun together and laugh. Like anytime I'm around the staff, like everybody's cutting up with each other and having fun. So I love that so much. It's so important. It's so important.
So what are some of the things that your church does now with the people on staff? Like how does that work?
Yeah, I know that there's definitely a staff retreat that's for staff and spouses that happens once a year, Christmas party. But then I do know that the staff gets together and they cut up and have fun together. But it not even as a whole staff though. Like even just last night as we're recording this episode, our pastor asked my husband if he would want to go to an Auburn basketball game. And of course my husband was like, yeah, I'm there. And so it was the pastor and the associate pastor and my husband and my brother actually all went, the four of them, to an Auburn basketball game last night. So that there's little pockets of different things that happens throughout the year, even if it's not the whole staff. But I would say that we 100% have very healthy relationships as staff.
I think that's a good point that that the staff does not have to be together all the time.
Right.
Like as like we don't want to leave people out or all that. Like because I was thinking like your pastor and your husband that's the youth pastor, they hunt together, right?
Yeah. Oh,
like there's just different things that like maybe just they do because he knows that Isaac loves to hunt.
Yeah.
Right.
I can think of things that we have a couple that's on staff with us, Jennifer and Brett. Like we vacation with them every 2 years, and we're planning our trip to Maine and Nova Scotia right now.
Maine and Nova Scotia. That sounds very lovely.
Yes. If you can't go all the way to Ireland, go to Nova Scotia, apparently, because it's really beautiful like that. And that's okay. And no staff feels left out or whatever, because sometimes you just travel with people, and some people don't like to travel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just find those things like basketball and all of that. I love, I know Jonathan, I can kind of not throw him under the bus, but I know he would love to do better, and he's really trying to do better in 2025. Like meeting with them separately, first of all, like just to have that meal time with them and accountability and talk and hang out with each one of the staff. So it's not always just a group,
Right.
because some people are, going to talk more often than others. So you're not really going to get the same kind of conversation as you would one-on-one. So I know he's really felt like convicted to do that more this year. But yeah, we try to do meals after church a lot of times with people. We have staff meetings at our house, but of course, for those of you that do not know, we're at a smaller church. So our staff meets at our house at least once a month, and then we just hang out afterwards and we just chill and we talk. We do the Christmas parties and different parties like that during the year. But we really do. I love the retreat idea. That's something that we want to do this year because actually Jonathan's like, man, he went on his first retreat, pastor's retreat last year. And I've been telling him, I mean, hello. We are professional retreaters at this. Like how amazing it is.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like it. And then he went on it. And he's like, I really had fun, and just, man, this was a really good time just having meals together. I was like, yeah, was it? Someone's been telling you about this for a couple of years. But yes, it is your idea. That's a good idea to have a staff retreat, Jonathan. Anyways.
So with that in mind, let's talk about pastors' wives, because there's a lot listening right now.
Pastors' wives tell all.
What up, pastors' wives?
Pastors' wives. And we can be lonely because we're not actually the ones on staff, many of us. And so we might be on the outskirts going, well, the pastors are all getting together, but I'm the spouse and I'm feeling lonely. So we need to get together too. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like let's focus on that for a few minutes.
So whose job is it to get the pastors' wives together? Is it the lead pastor's wife's job, or is it just anyone's job of the pastor wives? Thoughts?
Personally, I don't really know. I don't feel like it's the pastor's wife's responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, because that's a lot of pressure. I think, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this one. Yeah.
I feel like we all have different gifts.
Yes.
And some people have the gift of hospitality, or some people are a little more extroverted. And I think if you feel the need, you're probably the one. Like if you are wanting community and you are saying like, I have these ideas, but I don't know if I'm supposed to, you probably are.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the Lord put it on your heart.
Right.
So I think if you thought it, then
Do it. I've done that before as a youth pastor's wife. I've just said, hey, can we all get together? Us girls get together.
Yeah.
And then we just make it happen. So, I mean, I don't think it has to be any one person's responsibility necessarily.
Yeah.
So,
And last time I checked, I don't have do we have a job description for a pastor's wife?
Nope.
Okay. So, I mean, I think,
and
I love all those
truthfully,
answers.
a lot of pastors' wives have full-time jobs outside of
yeah.
if they even serve at church. I mean, they may not even be at a place where they're serving at the church in that moment, but they have full-time jobs, some of them. So, I mean, for that pressure to be put on her, that one person.
one person,
I think that if the Lord lays it on your heart, though, that's a little clue right there.
Okay, so what if the pastor's wives were like, I mean, because that can get to you. You know what I mean? Like that can get to you, especially if you're in a lonely space. You know, do you keep trying? Do you just go, well, the majority is not wanting to. Should I now, if I can't get the whole group together, should I ask individually and start there? You know, like if we're all on staff together and the three of us can't get together and we just can't make anything work, do I just go to you or to you individually
I think that's a good place to start.
You know?
I think that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Like even just reaching out to one person and having coffee or lunch or whatever it may be.
For sure.
I mean, and then
because you're building
who
that
knows where
relationship.
that goes.
And if you know, if Stephanie sees that Jenna and I are hanging out and getting closer, then maybe she would be more likely to go, man, y'all went and did that. That does sound fun.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes it just takes a woman to kind of get out of her mind and the busyness of her life and go, oh, I really do need this. Yeah. You know?
And if there is someone who just really doesn't want any kind of community on your staff, that could be something else going on. There could be other red flags there.
That's very true.
But also, what if you went to your husband and said, hey, like maybe you're a shyer person or you don't even know or you feel awkward, but you're the one that has the burden. Maybe you even go to your husband and say, can you please plan something with the spouses so that I can like to make it to where you can be with those women. And then maybe casually bring that into the conversation about we should have just a girls' night.
Yeah. So if you're together for a dinner or something, all together, be like, girls, we should hang out on our own, you know?
Yeah.
And
It's important.
I think
Community's
like
important.
game nights are such a good,
yes.
like if you're just thinking of things that are cheap, not a big budget, like just have whoever's house is big enough. And if you're the one, like Stephanie said, that this has that on her heart to do, just say, hey, can we have a game night? And do that with pastors and their spouses. Yeah. And then you're going to kind of see women kind of come to life and also see your personality, especially if you're new and y'all don't really know each other.
Yeah.
To like come together and laugh. That will break down walls. And then the women might be more apt to go.
And fun games.
Yes.
Like, you don't have to sit down and play Monopoly.
Yeah, please don't do that. Don't do that ever. This is just a PSA. Don't ever play Monopoly.
No.
And I know there's some haters out there, but come on, guys. There's more to life.
Do you know that I don't think I've ever played Monopoly?
You're not missing anything.
Okay, good.
You've never played Monopoly?
I don't think I have.
Okay,
My
If I
kids
have.
like
I
to
don't
play
remember.
it.
Are you surprised?
Apparently, I'm talking about Stephanie's family.
Hey, but you should play signs. And if you don't know what signs is, you could probably Google it because I'm sure that we aren't the only ones who know how to play signs. But we used to play it with our youth group all the time.
Yeah.
And it is so fun. We play it at retreats. And
And
it
it's
is
like-
just...
Games that can tell you, like, there are
Yeah.
games you can just look up online. Hey,
For sure.
Let's just say, what are a few of our favorite games that people could go buy? Oh, I can think of one. Taboo.
Exploding kittens.
Yes.
That's a good one. Wow, my brain.
Oh, the king one. What's the king's one?
5 crowns.
Five crowns.
Oh, crowns, not kings. Sorry. My bad.
It's fine. Whatever crown you like, you can wear that one.
Five crowns.
I love love. I love love.
I love
You love it.
Heads up. You know, just like any kind of
yeah,
form
yeah.
of just acting and laughing together.
Yeah.
Who's the dude?
Who's the dude?
Who's the dude?
Look that one up, guys.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
going to tell you much
hilarious.
about it. But
You should just go look it up.
That's
It's
a good
great.
one. That's a good one for just any kind of
It's like a mix between charades and a blow up doll situation.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds.
They are all very like, what?
Just
Go look it up.
Just look it up.
It's fun.
It's an appropriate game, we promise.
It is.
Anyway, pastor's wife tell all.
Yeah.
So
Yes, that's so true. But anyways, yes, I love that idea about game night. That would be super fun. I want to do that with our staff. I'm trying to think. It was the last time. I'm sorry.
it looks like she's going like this.
She's like so annoyed with us.
Oh, Jenna's dog is staring at us with, she's just cutting her eyes at us. Like, what is wrong with you people?
I know.
Also, does she need to go outside?
She might, but it's okay. I'll send her out in a minute.
You're welcome for this commercial break.
Anyways, but I think one of the biggest things is like we're all gonna have those moments where we do feel alone,
Absolutely.
and know that you're not alone in that.
You're not alone in feeling alone.
But second,
true.
what we really truly push people to do is get outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it, who will?
Right?
It's so true. You can't get outside of someone else's comfort zone.
That's so true. Too bad. Too bad you can't. Too bad.
I just got very
Only
confused.
you can get out of there.
Only you can prevent wildfires. What?
Being alone.
Why being
sometimes.
alone? Yes. Thank you. Wow.
Okay.
We should podcast in the morning all the time. It's our favorite. Anyways.
I don't know that it gets any better because we used to do it at night and it was
that's
worse.
true. We just,
Oh, that's definitely
we
not.
laughed. There was
good
so much
thing.
laughter. It was
So much.
uncalled for. Well, is laughter ever uncalled for?
No,
No.
it's not uncalled for. But when you're trying to, talk a lot, such as a podcast episode, and you're laughing so hard that you're coughing, and then there's phlegm, and then it's just there's a whole, when you
sure.
start laughing so hard you can't stop.
I'm sure people
It's-
really love that you just said phlegm.
Yep, phlegm. I did.
Speaking-
I said it because it's a thing.
Speaking
that
of
our
laughter,
bodies have.
we could swing that back around to the fact that laughter is so good
It is.
for pastor wifeys, for pastors,
Yes.
staff, all of it.
And guys, if you are in need of laughter this year, We have 2 retreats already planning in the planning time.
Yes, we do.
Of
September.
retreats. So
Retreats.
September, there's 2. So make sure you go to our website at
pastorswives.com/retreat.
Woo-woo.
and you can get a retreat. I mean, you can't get one. You can go to one.
Yes, you can.
We love you guys.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, friends, if you have enjoyed this episode as much as we have, please help us spread the word on Facebook and Instagram.
If you didn't know yet, Instagram is where all the fun is at. From dance reels on Wednesdays to spiritual encouragement and laugh out loud posts in between, there is something for everyone.
And last but certainly not least, if you could take a moment right now to stop what you're doing and give us a rating and review, even subscribe to our podcast, this seriously helps other people find us who wouldn't be able to otherwise. Thank you so much for your love and support. We hope you'll tune in next week.